love this author. It's really well known since I almost own every single book the Seven Seas has come out for this author's works. And this book, just like in the other one that is supposed to be a prequel series to this one, it has Tom and Jerry hijinks going out throughout this entire book. Very much Tom and Jerry hijinks. Every single fight they get into has been literally a Tom and Jerry hijinks. Just like the other series where it is a prequel series, it is hijinks of Tom and Jerry levels. So the Ghost King that they had captured and awakened from his mind control isn't the Ghost King. He serves the Ghost King. He's a general ghost. Him and his king and the army, they sleep for 10 years, awaken, protect the territory, and then go back to sleep for another 10 years. And they repeat the cycle over and over again. Well, during their slumber, before they awakened, they were captured by the Dark Lady and the Black God. And this Plague God and Dark Lady, full on Tom and Jerry hijinks when it comes to our dear boy. So before he had reincarnated, they had captured half his soul, part of his soul, and turned him into a dark deer god and used him to control the Ghost King's army. Yes, a bunch of Tom and Jerry hijinks, I'm telling you. A very much big mess. So everyone does get cured of their sickness. The Ghost General is the one who cures them. They're gonna go and save the Ghost King from the control of the Plague God and the Dark Lady. This means they're gonna be having to fight a battle, so they're gonna need their other comrades. So they're gonna wait until their two comrades arise, even though this kind of upsets the Wolf Boy, because again, they don't realize our Dare Boy is the Dare. They know that the Ghost King's army worships the deer as their god and always goes and worships him after protecting the territory before they go and rest every 10 years. So they are anxious and wary about going and rescuing the deer because they have an idea that the deer is being used to control the, army, because they need the deer's powers to do this. And so this makes him anxious and wary and worried, and he wants to rush, but the Melly was able to stop him. And they decide once they go out that they're gonna leave the Dare Boy because he doesn't have any skills or abilities to help them. And this leads to him running away and the main character chasing after him. And the Ghost General had already headed out to be basically a spy. The Melid and the Wolf Boy go and chase after their two lovers to stop them from running away. The Dare Boy is captured by the Dark Lady and the Plague God, and they mix him with the version of him that they had been using all these years, mix him together and turn him into the Dark Deer. And they use him to trick the main character into a slumber, which the main character sees his past, but also not true events. It's a mixture of both real events and fake events to mess with the main character's mind and put the main character in despair, in a way to try to turn the main character against his comrades and his family, but at the same time, some of these events are real. One of the things the main character sees is that all those years ago, him and the Melid were friends, but he doesn't remember this, and the Melid doesn't either. Their memories had been messed with, so neither of them knows why their memories had been messed with. Also, he doesn't tell the Melid, oh, we used to be friends. So the Melid is basically being sidelined on this. And one of these quote-unquote dreams he sees is the Melid killing his parents, being controlled and possessed by a certain being and killing his parents to kill him. Yes, it's a horrifying thing that's basically makes the main character kind of avoid the Melid, but he doesn't explain to Melid what he saw. He just sidelines the Melid because he's anxious of what he's seen. Another thing he sees is that he could possibly have the seed that leads to the reincarnation of the Great Demon, the thing that they're supposed to defeat and keep from being brought alive. And this freaks him out. And the others know about this part of his dream and they lie to him about it because his cart buddy, who was with him his entire life, most of his life, knows the truth. his uncle knows the truth, his adopted father knows the truth, and they kept it from him, kept it sealed and protected, and kept it from being awakened all these years. And so everyone's like, we're going to keep our mouth shut. But this comes to bite them in the butt later because, he keeps freaking out of this and they keep trying to stop him from thinking about it and trying to delude him from this idea. But sooner or later, they're unable to keep lying to him about it. If you're wondering where the Dare Boy is, he is still captured and in the hands of the Dark Lady and the Plague God. They were only able to save the main character and get the main character out of there during the whole hijinks of Tom and Jerry levels. So I forgot to say this. So right before they realized the Dare Boy had ran off, the male lead had figured out that the Dare Boy was possibly the Dare. And he brings up that maybe he had been muddled with and messed with before his reincarnation and was reborn the way he was. He also points out to the Wolf Boy doesn't mean he would be reborn as a woman every single time. He could possibly be reborn as a man. And so they both realize the Dare Boy is the deer, and they go after to talk to him, but they realize he had ran off and the main character had chased after, so they chased after them. And the main character had figured it out on his own. He's like, oh, you know what? He's the Dare Boy. How did I not realize he is the deer that our man has been looking for this entire time? Our comrade, the Persian prince, he arrives, he shows up, and he brings along with him a friend. He also had captured a snakeo that basically confirms what the male lead and the wolf boy had already figured out on their own. So they go off to fight against the Dark Lady and the Plague God to free the Ghost King and the Deer Boy from their control under the hands of those two people. And it's a whole Tom and Jerry hijinks. The Ghost General gets killed by the hands of the Ghost King, which, wrecks the poor man once he awakens to it. Realizing he killed his comrade, I was literally crying. I felt so terrible because the man had died. He was freed from his eternity of serving and fighting, but at the same time, he died by the hands of his majesty. And his majesty was made to kill his dear comrade. Like, I was heartbroken. It was a terrible thing to read. They were able to free the Dare Boy of the control of the Plague God and Dark Lady, which they needed to free him to free everybody else from the control of the Plague God and the Dark Lady. Because again, his power is being used to control him, and how they free him is by destroying his antlers. Literally, they break his antlers.